What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Palm City Chucks. We're going to get started like we always do, diving into last week's college. So let's start with Bama, Tennessee. A game in which I picked Tennessee, and I was correct. It's a really good game, though. I felt like Tennessee just constantly left the door open for Bama, and Bama just didn't take advantage. Tennessee's starting quarterback goes down. Bama still doesn't take advantage. Second half rolls around. Tennessee puts their starter back in. Turns out he's all right. And I feel like they just got grooving from there, and they just took the game because Bama kind of was dangling it out in front of them.
No, I agree. I agree with everything you said. I think the Bama we've seen the last few weeks is a little bit closer to the Bama I expected we would see this year.
Yeah,
after
post-Saban.
leaves.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly. So
Yeah,
I can't
wheels are
say
starting
I'm
to fall
overly.
off.
Yeah, exactly. I can't say I'm overly surprised by what I'm seeing. Both teams, tough games before coming in, and Tennessee pulled it out 24-17, as you said. They were just better on the day.
Yeah. Yep. And that's a lot of college football, especially the SEC. Just whatever team's having a good day. Let's stay SEC. We also had Georgia, Texas, heavyweight battle.
Banger
Georgia won that
game.
30-15. And I was all over that, too.
You were. I mean, I had a rough week in college. I got both the Bama and the Georgia-Texas game wrong. So, is what it is, but it's fine. It's not the one that matters.
Yeah,
But,
of course.
Yeah, of course.
Of course.
But, yeah, I mean, Georgia dominated this game, plain and simple. Quinn Ewers did not have a good night.
No.
I mean, he got pulled for Archie for a little bit. Came back in, played a little bit better. Me personally, I kind of wanted to see Archie stay in.
Right. Yeah. Me too.
I mean, the offense was moving the ball a little bit better with him. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't great either, but he was better than Quinn.
Right. I think that's just a wild situation to put him into. Like that Georgia team already losing, don't really have any momentum. Here you go, youngster. Bring us back. But yeah, he wasn't able to do so. Like I said, don't really agree with that call to put him in there and put him in that spot. But like you said, I mean, he kind of got the offense moving. But in the end, they took him out anyway.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's tough on the mental. That's got to be tough on the mental. One, coming in the middle of the game, as you said, that's tough. Coming into a big game like that. And also the mental of getting over, like, okay, I got to go in for Quinn. He's having a really tough game, and as a young kid, sometimes that's tough to battle as well. So just in the middle of that game, that's really
true.
Tough.
I feel like they weren't worried about his mental. They were worried about Ewers' mental, and they wanted him to get the fire lit underneath him a little bit. But,
that's true. That's a fair point.
Yeah, you're right. They probably should be thinking more about the future than they are when they made that decision. But yeah, all in all, I just felt like they were in a different league than Georgia. That's one where I honestly don't know if it is any given day kind of thing. Georgia just looked a lot better, and maybe it's because they got that loss already. So, they're sparked, but who knows?
It's possible. I mean, they looked great against Texas. They really did. Texas defense was killing it before that game. Georgia did whatever they wanted, honestly. So
yeah, it seemed pretty easy. Let's move on to a game I know you're excited to talk about. Michigan, Illinois, where Illinois won 21-7.
Oh yes, I was very excited to see that. I mean, Michigan can't do anything on offense. Their offense is terrible. Yep. As we've discussed before, quarterback play, not it. It's not what it needs to be. So if you shut down the run, they're not going to do anything all game.
Yep.
And that's exactly what Illinois did.
Yeah. Our hypothesis was correct.
Oh, yeah. because
Yeah,
they're
they're
out. I think they're out of the rankings now. I don't remember the full top 25, but they were only
oh,
like
they're
20.
definitely out because they were what 24 going into that or something.
Yeah, 22, 24, one of those two. I
I
can't
mean,
quite remember, but yeah, that
hell,
was.
freaking Vanderbilt's in right now
Yeah,
just to get knocked out too. But we'll
I
get
do
to that.
remember that. Yeah,
We'll
I do
get to
remember
that.
that Vandy at 25.
But before we go on to the picks for this upcoming week for college, I did want to mention the 12 o'clock game that I chose to watch, which was Miami Louisville, and this thing was a
Oh,
shootout. So much
yeah.
fun. It felt like a Madden game or something. Like these offenses were getting a touchdown every drive.
Hmm.
And then the minute a team messes up, it's literally like you might be screwed because your defense is not getting the stop. And it's
Yeah.
games like that where I wonder how the defensive coordinators are feeling on both sides because they should be
Not
a little,
good.
yeah, they should be a little
Yeah.
scared for their job. But yeah, that game was just stupid, dude. Both teams like butter through each other the whole game.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
so
that
much
ended up
fun. I
being
love
what, like,
college. You get games like that. Then you get the 24-17 Tennessee Bama. Like you get a fight. And yeah, it's just great. Love, love, love college.
it is. No, it is fantastic. College football and the NFL are two different beasts. They really are. You can't
Oh,
compare
yeah.
them, in my opinion.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
two totally different things.
Yeah. And college so far this year might honestly be more enjoyable than the NFL for me so far, which could be telling about the birds. But I've just really enjoyed college this year.
That's fair. It is tough. It is tough to watch when the team's struggling. I get it. I get it.
Yeah, it sucks, dude. But we're beating up on other struggled teams, which makes me feel better.
Yeah.
I hope we
We'll
can
get to that
continue the
later.
trend.
Yeah. Like, we will talk about that. But
We
for
will.
now, let's talk about what's up next in college.
Let's.
First game, we got Notre Dame Navy. What do you got?
Dude, it's got to come to an end for Navy. I'm sorry, but like this Army Navy thing, undefeated, it's crazy. I'm more of an Air Force guy myself, but you know, not our year. We've kind of ran shit the last few years though, but now, yeah, Army and Navy both undefeated. But yeah, I think that's got to come to an end here. Navy going up against Notre Dame. Notre Dame already got that L. They can't lose this one, so
Yeah.
I don't think they will. But what do you have there?
I also got Notre Dame for like pretty much what you said. Like it's
Yeah.
Navy, you know, like
It's
good
Navy.
run. I'm happy for you, but this is Notre Dame we're talking about.
Yeah.
So
Ah, that-
this is the end of the road.
All anybody's thinking about is the Army Navy matchup at the end of the year.
Yes.
That's what is exciting about these teams being good, not their games against Notre Dame. So
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%. I also got to say, I agree with you. Also an Air Force guy.
hey, that's what's up. Very
Yeah.
nice.
Up next, we got Illinois against Oregon.
Yeah.
Enticing game.
Eh. Agree
Yeah,
to
I know.
disagree.
Yeah.
I think Oregon will take care of this one. 2 scores at least.
I mean, 2 scores, that's pretty reasonable.
Yeah.
I got to give you that one. That's pretty
Well,
reasonable.
yeah. I'm not saying Illinois should be mad about that outcome even.
Yeah.
If they keep it, 10, 11 points, something like that, they'll be pretty happy.
I think it'll be within 2 scores. I do. I think I got Oregon in this one.
So you got a
but
one
I think
possession
Illinois-
game?
I think Illinois keeps it closer than Oregon might expect. They
Okay.
just beat up on Ohio State recently, and I think there's a tough
That's
game
true.
coming
Oregon
in
could
here
be
for
going
'em.
in with the full head,
Yeah.
which
So
that's never
I
good.
think they'll win, but
Yeah.
I think they might be a little bit full of themselves. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. I could see both.
Yeah. Up next, we got an SEC matchup with
Oh, yeah.
Mizzou and Alabama.
Yeah.
Who do you got here? This one was interesting.
It is, but Bama's got to wake up. And Missouri hasn't looked like they're not as good as they were last year. Last year, that was their team. I know they brought a lot of guys back, but you could tell something's off. Like it's not what we saw last year. And the same could be said for Bama, but Bama at home, Bama again lost, so they can't lose again. So I don't see them dropping this one.
Yeah. I also have Bama in this one. I agree. They know they can't lose anymore if they want any semblance of a chance to squeak in.
Yeah.
So they've really got to turn it on. And Alabama's had bright spots. I don't know that I can say the same for Mizzou. They've
Right.
been pretty consistently meh.
Yeah,
So
very meh.
I think that Bama has enough bright spots in them to win this game.
Yeah. Both
Ryan
teams struggled
Williams,
against Vanderbilt,
beast.
too, by the way. What does that mean?
Yes. Should Vanderbilt be higher?
Dude, I kind of wish they were. I'm glad they gave them their flowers.
Yeah.
How's this for a segue? They're in a ranked game this week against Texas. So yeah, I think they're not going to be ranked after this week. I got Texas winning that one, but yeah, it's nice that they let them squeak in there. I couldn't tell you the last time they were ranked. I doubt I was alive for it.
Yeah, so got like 35 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I'm glad that they're at 25 right now, but Texas is going to win this game.
Yeah.
I really think so. And if not, Vandy better shoot up into like
Bro, yeah, you take
the
out
low
Bama and
teens.
Texas and then
Yeah.
almost Mizzou, but yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, I agree. I'm kind of rooting for it. Like
Oh.
Texas got their loss now, so
Yeah.
it would be insane to see Vandy pull that
Oh,
off. But I
1,000%.
really don't see it.
Dude, I vote for Vanderbilt like 9 games a year. It just doesn't happen.
That's fair. I mean, as an LSU fan, I can see that actually. I
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wreak havoc on the rest of them. And if you happen to play us, that's why I said 9 games a year.
Speaking of you being an LSU fan, that brings us to our last game
Oh, these segues are gas.
of last ranked game of this week, anyways. LSU Texas A&M. I got Texas A&M here. I'm
You
sorry
do.
to say, at home, they're playing really well.
They are.
LSU playing good, not great, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
I would
mean,
agree. I picked LSU, had to.
I figured.
But yeah, A&M has played good. They haven't really been tested since week 1, in which they lost to Notre Dame. So 0 for 1 in battle games, if you want to put it that way. So kind of hoping that trend continues, and maybe they're not ready for a powerhouse like LSU. But, I mean, SEC team, I'm sure they're somewhat ready. So should be a good game. But, yeah, LSU got to win this one. Got to win this one.
Yeah.
It's getting the crunch time for LSU. I mean, we got Bama still yet. This was the other one. And we already have that one loss. You can't drop them both. I'd love to win this one. That way I can go into the Bama match, in which Bama will most likely have 2 losses. They got to win that. So I'd rather have that safety net for that game. But, yeah, I mean, we know how it goes. LSU loses this, they can't lose again, pretty much. So,
Yeah.
got to win out.
Yeah, and with the rest of their schedule, that's tough to do. That's
Yeah.
tough to do.
Dude, these SEC teams, they just beat up on each other. That's why I'm so annoyed at Texas's schedule. That's why I'm very glad Georgia won that, because if they didn't, Texas was probably going to be undefeated. Until SEC championship game, anyway. But
Only 2 teams left that matter with an undefeated record now. Just saying.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, both Big Ten.
Both Big Ten.
Yeah, both shocking. I'll say it. No, with who Penn State has played, I'm not surprised they're undefeated, but I kind of am at the same time. I mean, they're a heartbreak club. They just are.
They are. They are.
Yeah.
I do get my heart broken yearly
Yeah,
by them. So
dude. It's beaten.
Well, we'll
It's
talk
so
about them
full of
again in a
life
second.
now. Like, this break's gonna suck.
Yeah, we'll talk about. I want to talk about them a little more in a second, but I gotta tell you, LSU. Do you think they get in with 2 losses? Do you think they get in with 2 losses?
I think they could. I don't think. So the loss to USC was not a good loss, but it definitely wasn't a bad loss. And we have some teams that, like, are powerhouse teams, like LSU level teams, that have worse losses, which I definitely think that'll help. Like, you look at Notre Dame, worse loss. Bama's got a worse loss. Yeah, I might be running thin already, just off the top of my head. But, I mean, you see those other teams with worse losses. That makes me feel good. Going into the season as a whole, I kind of expected, my guess was like 6 out of the 12 teams would probably have 2 losses that make it. So if I'm right there, I would say they're probably one of those 6 teams that would get in. Granted, things have to go right. There's still a lot of football left to be played. With LSU's loss not being that bad, if they take care of A&M, say they drop to Bama, I feel like you got to put them in. But we'll see. A lot has to, shake out still to be predicting that stuff. But, yeah, I think there's going to be a handful of teams with 2 losses that get in. So just got to hope LSU's one of them.
That's fair.
Assuming they lose
That's
again,
fair.
also.
I mean,
They do only have one for now.
they do only have one for now, but I was just curious. Assuming they pick up a second one somewhere. As you said, tough schedule to round out the year in crunch time. So I was just curious. I'm not so sure.
Yeah,
I think they might be
I'm
one
not
of the first
either.
ones out.
Yeah, because even now, there's so many teams with 1 loss. And I don't know their schedules, like there's so many teams,
Yeah.
so it's like I don't know. But yeah, they have a shot. There's going to be 2 loss teams in there. I'll just put it that way. There's no way there's not a 2 loss team in.
I agree with that.
Probably
I
going to
do
be
agree
a
with
couple.
that.
Hopefully LSU's one. If
Yeah.
they lose again. I feel like I'm rooting for them to lose again.
If they
every
lose
time.
again, yes.
This
Let's
hypothetical
reiterate that.
sucks, dude.
I mean, you asked me the same shit about Penn State,
No,
man.
that's
What do you want me
fair.
to do?
Yeah, but you were undefeated.
You don't like talking about it because you know it's coming.
Dude, I'll never get my hopes up in a Bama matchup. I know better. And yeah, A&M, there's rivalry there. They're home. It's going to be a good game. Both teams 1 loss. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
If you do win this, though, you've got some momentum going into the Bama game.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Well, even last week, taking care of Arkansas the way we did, like after Arkansas just beat Tennessee. So, yeah, I'm happy with LSU. They're not all that they could be, but they're definitely righting the ship. Like, they look a lot better than they did week 1, week 2. Like, that South Carolina game earlier in the season, like, if we played them now, I feel like that's a 20-point win or something, but yeah.
you have gotten a lot better throughout the year. That
Yeah.
I will credit to LSU. That's true.
Yeah. Let's just hope
Yeah.
Brian Kelly stays out of the way. Get this dub.
So I want to talk a little bit how you asked me about this last week. Did you agree with how the top 5 of the AP rankings shook out?
How did it shake
Oregon.
out? I want to make sure I got it
Oregon, Georgia, Penn State stayed at 3, got jumped by Georgia there at 2,
right. Yeah.
and then Ohio State, and then Texas.
Yeah. So now, because that's what I was saying. If Georgia won, I wanted Penn State to bump back 1, which I knew would never happen because they didn't lose. But if I'm making the power, like if I'm doing the top 5, I want it to be the actual top 5 best teams. So some of them may have a loss.
That is insulting. That's insulting.
Hey, it is what it is. You know you're not a top 5 team in the country. Come on.
I think we're pressing on top 5 at least. I really do.
You are. I'm not saying you're not, but I don't
mean,
think
who's
you
actually?
are.
Okay.
And also, for the record, I said bump
I
you
gotta.
back to 4, even though I do believe you're not a top 5 team. So I wasn't being that ridiculous.
I know, but I'm just trying to think through it right now, and I don't know if I can name 5 teams that I'd put in front of Penn State right now. Like
Well, I think out of
Oregon,
the top
sure.
5, those other 4 are definitely better.
We'll see in 2 weeks.
We will.
Yeah. When Penn State pulls it out
They're
against
going to
Ohio
have to,
State
yeah.
for the
It's a matter of time till they have to prove themselves. Then we can stop having this debate.
yeah, exactly. I'll shut you up. Or worst case scenario, I get what I get every single year with Penn State, a heartbreak, as you said earlier. So
Yeah.
it'll be
Well, this time you'll get a little extra razzing, but nothing you can't handle.
God, I want LSU to lose.
Yeah, just get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Who you got? Wisconsin, is that right?
Yeah, no, they're okay. So yeah, they're coming to Madison. So
Yeah.
Penn State's coming to Madison,
And you're going, yeah?
Oh yeah, very excited about that. It's
Yeah.
gonna be fun. It's gonna be a great time.
That's dope.
Should absolutely knock their socks off. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I think you'll be all right.
It's a bit of a trap game. The game before Ohio State,
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, as long
hopefully-
as your heads are on straight, you should be fine.
well, I don't know if I ever believe that James Franklin's head is on straight. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it turns out.
I got a Brian Kelly problem. I can sympathize.
I love it. I love it. Super excited for what's to come in college this weekend. Lots
Oh, yeah.
to
What was
play
that?
out.
Five ranked matchups. Let's go.
5
Even if
ranked
one is
matchups.
Navy. Let's go.
Or
And
one is
Vanderbilt,
Vandy.
actually.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
There's 3 ranked matchups this week. We just decided to talk about 5.
Yeah. Yeah, after this week, half those teams will be ranked. That's it.
Dude, and
So
Illinois is probably going to fall out, too.
Exactly.
Yeah,
But anyways, we talked about college.
we did.
Let's talk about the NFL, baby.
Let's.
Let's talk about the NFL.
Let's.
Starting with the Thursday night game, Bo Nix and the Broncos against the Saints, in a game that was put out of reach early.
Oh,
Broncos
this was a brutal watch, dude.
absolutely dominated the Saints.
This was a brutal watch.
Oh, I agree. It was bad.
Yeah, Saints didn't have a chance. They never could get anything going on offense. I mean, all they had was Kamara, and what team are they up against? Frickin' the Broncos and Sean Payton, the guy who knows exactly how to stop them.
Kamara wasn't even their best runner on the night.
No,
Kendre Miller was.
I mean, Kamara also only had 5 carries and then a few catches or something. Like you said, game got out of reach so quick. Teams are so quick to abandon the run. And then, I mean, hey, defenses know what you're doing. Genius.
Yeah, Spencer Rattler did not look good.
No.
This
No.
is the Spencer Rattler I was expecting to
Yeah.
see.
I agree. His first performance was pretty good.
Yeah, it was.
This
It's
this is what I was expecting.
Yeah, the first one was a little bit crazy. I was like, there is no way he's going to keep this up. Problem in college. No way he comes to the NFL and just starts balling out.
Yeah.
He did that first game, and I was a little scared.
I was too.
No way.
I was also just annoyed because I like talking trash on the guy. Not going to lie. But, we kind of breezed past it last week, and now we get to talk trash. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah,
I
they
mean,
just
Broncos didn't even have Patrick Surtain. He was
No.
out.
Yep. I mean, but the Saints had nobody at receiver. But
That's true. It's a fair point.
yeah, it was
But-
a great game for him to miss, and that was a concussion, right? So he'll be back.
Yeah,
I think it was.
I think
a
so.
concussion.
I think so. I know
Yeah, that was a
Olave was
crap
out
game.
with concussion.
Crap game.
Yeah, but yeah, 100%. Broncos took it by a mile. Now,
Mhm.
let's talk about a game I am very thrilled about. Had a couple heart attacks while it was going on, but Lions, Vikings.
Yeah.
Vikings undefeated, no more.
Yep.
Just that simple.
Congrats, buddy.
Yeah. I mean,
First place in the
Lions
North
atop,
now.
yeah, exactly. In their rightful place atop the NFC North. Vikings, frauds. Lions, real.
Hey,
I
I
can
knew
officially
I
say
knew I
that
shouldn't
now.
be picking the Vikings ever, dude. It finally paid off going against them. Unreal.
Yeah, I
But yeah,
mean,
they again showed how good they are. I mean, I was gassing your team up last week, and I did feel this way, hottest team in the league, and Vikings still like almost had them. They are just a really good team. I still can't really compute it, but yeah, they're a team I will be picking to win in the future.
a little foreshadowing there.
Maybe. I don't even remember their matchup. I probably found a way to go against them.
I love it. Oh man. But yeah, I mean, the David Montgomery fumble late, that
That
hurt.
was yeah,
That was scary.
dude.
That was scary.
Yeah,
Because I felt like I know what the score says, 2-point game, Lions had to win on a last second field goal, but I don't feel like it played like that, to be honest.
Hmm.
Watching the game, it did feel like the Lions were the much better team. The score didn't necessarily
Yeah.
say that. I mean,
Well, that fumble was a huge deal. I mean,
Yeah.
like you said, it totally flipped
They
the
scored.
game, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So,
yeah, that's why it felt a little more stressful. But yeah, I'd agree. Like I said, I think you're the hottest team right now. But yeah, Vikings
I hope
definitely
we keep
gave
it
it
up.
their all, and Montgomery helped them out for some reason.
and Jared Goff is on a historical tear. Absolutely historical tear. His last 3 games have been excellent. I think he has less than 10 incompletions in his last 3 games
Oh my
combined.
gosh,
Like that's insane. When he's
must be
still
nice.
throwing for like 900 yards.
Yeah, yeah.
That's nuts.
The volume and everything is still there, but yeah, keeping it clean. That's what you got to do. Clean football
Mhm.
wins games. I mean, again, going back to that fumble, you see how quick a single turnover can switch a game, and it happens all the time. So if you're playing clean, your odds are going up, and you already have a stacked stud team. I mean, hey, that's a recipe for winning.
And they gotta stay on that, baby. The NFC
Yeah.
North, the winningest division in the NFL right now, which
Yeah.
is that's a crazy thing to say. In a division with teams that 5 years ago you would have been like, oh, the Lions, the Bears.
Yeah, it was just the Packers for a while, and then the
Yeah.
Vikings kind of got good. Then going into this year, I thought Vikings were going to be like the 4th worst team in the league,
So did I.
and boy was I wrong. And then Bears, thought they would be good, but they got it clicking faster than I thought, and they're doing really good. Packers, we kind of figured they'd be good, but yeah, Bears a bit of a surprise this year. Vikings, huge surprise.
Vikings are a huge surprise indeed.
Yeah.
Gotta give them
You
their
have to deal with them
flowers.
again.
I mean, it's like I said at the beginning of the year, I really believe that J.J. McCarthy going down was actually good for them.
Hmm. I mean,
Like-
we've talked about it too, sitting these rookies, and we're both
Yep.
believers in that. And yeah, I agree. I mean, the minute they got Darnold, I was saying that all along. I mean, hey, he's a guy for a year or two. Like he's totally a bridge guy. Now, who knows? Because the guy's playing out of his mind. Maybe he's not a bridge guy. But yeah, going into
Yeah.
the year, I thought that was a smart move by them. But yeah, who's to say? Maybe they were going to start McCarthy until the injury.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's working out. Took their first loss. We'll see how they bounce back in week 8. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
But now, let's talk about another game from last week. A tight one. One where I believe you were correct and I was incorrect. The Texans and the Packers.
Yeah, that was a good one.
Packers pulling that one out on a last-second field goal.
Yeah. I mean, this was exactly kind of what I expected. Could have gone either way. 2 really good teams, and I knew it was going to be a fight. And yeah, I just happened to pick the right team. But yeah, that's 2 really good teams. Anybody could have came out on top there.
Yeah, I was obviously pretty disappointed in that. I was really hoping the Texans would pull that out. Not just because it's the Packers, but also the Texans are an AFC team, so completely irrelevant to the
Oh yeah,
Lions.
yeah. And you gain a pick on me. I mean, it would have been a perfect storm.
Exactly. I mean, it would have gave me a clean sweep on the week, man. So
Yeah, that's true.
Texans really let me down there. But, I mean, I'm just continue to be impressed by the Packers, admittedly. They're a really good football team.
They are.
They have turned it around from losing Aaron Rodgers way faster than I expected.
So quick, man. So quick.
They don't miss on quarterbacks. Are you kidding me? To go from Brett Favre to Aaron Rodgers to Jordan Love now is insanity.
Yeah.
What can you even do about that? That's
so
crazy.
Frustrating. I couldn't imagine being a division rival to that. It'd be so annoying, dude. I mean, you got, 8 more years of it now? And then what? They're going to draft another dude that's just as good? It's unreal.
Probably at this point, they could take a quarterback in the 7th round, and I might think he's the next Tom Brady. Seriously.
Yeah.
But another one for the resting quarterbacks for a year. Every single one of those guys did that.
Yeah.
Every single one. Yep.
Amen.
And look at them now.
Yep. That's the way to do it.
It really is.
Some teams don't have that luxury, but if you have the luxury, you should definitely do it. Even like how the Pats did. It's just a few weeks makes a huge difference.
Here's the thing. I don't even know if you can say that they don't have the luxury, right? Like, if you're just going to throw a rookie into an absolutely terrible situation, you're going to lose a shit ton of games anyways. Seriously.
Yeah.
So why not just let the guy sit for a year and learn anyways? Who cares who your backup is? And it's going to be your starter that year.
Well, that's the thing. Clearly, they don't value
anything.
mental reps nearly as much as actually being on the field. That is the issue. And, yeah, I think they're wrong. Mental reps go a long way. And when you're talking a quarterback, it's also a position, if they stay healthy or whatever, they play a while in the league. So taking a year, maybe even 2 years in some cases, I don't see why teams are so against it.
Yeah. I mean, it almost feels like they think they have... Honestly, I wonder if it's kind of how quick owners are to move on from GMs, and I wonder if that kind of plays a part in the... And
that's a great point.
Well. The GM
Pressure's on coaches, too.
Like
coaches,
with the owner.
GMs,
yeah, exactly.
They all have
the
those
coaches
pressures.
As well. Like, to show that they made the correct draft pick. Because most of the time, besides the Cowboys, and obviously the occasional owner overrule places, it's the GM and the coach that are making those decisions.
Yep.
So,
very true.
I wonder if they're feeling some pressure to throw their guy out there and be like, yeah, we did the right thing here. We got our guy.
Yeah, and on the flip side of that, too, like you said, just heavy turnover at those positions. Like these GMs, they probably, like the owner probably wants to see their plan in full force ASAP because they've got, 3-4 years to prove like you're in a playoffs or a contender or you're done. So, yeah. I mean, like you said, there's other teams with special circumstances where it's not that way, but overall, yeah, these guys are under a lot of pressure and they want results ASAP. And the other thing is when you get a new GM or a new coach, they want their guy. They don't want what you had.
Yep.
So they want their guy and they want to install their plan ASAP. So yeah, that probably does play a major role in that.
Yeah. Let's move on to your team.
Yeah.
A big win. Very convincing win against the Giants.
It was awesome.
Giants couldn't do anything.
It was great.
At all. Just
to see that we are separate from that level, I needed it, honestly, because after the Browns win, it was like, that was just ugly beating up on uglier. But we looked good against the Giants. And now, because you yelled at me for saying this too soon a few episodes ago, the defense is cooking. This is a bigger sample size, we've got a few weeks of stellar defense. Granted,
Well,
I'm
like
not going to
3
toot
out
that
of
horn
7.
too much because of who we played, but yeah, it's good to see the defense is going in the right direction. Hurts has played clean the last few weeks as well. That is huge. We already just went into depth on how turnovers can ruin games, and they have for the Eagles. And yeah, it's great to see him playing clean. Him and AJ look like they're having their classic connection. A lot of chemistry there, and I mean, Hurts has been very accurate. I feel like he's been extremely accurate, or he's throwing it to the wrong team. Like he's just like he's one of those guys where like the football's just not going to touch the ground much. A player's going to catch it. He just might be on the other team. That's how it's starting to feel.
I want to see
with
more
him,
of that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, I am not.
Well,
But yeah, it was great to beat them up. Awesome for Saquon. I mean, what a guy. He literally 13 yards away from his career best and then says, nah, don't put me back in. Let the other guys eat. I thought that was really cool.
No,
Got
that
a
was
lot
cool.
of egos in the league, and it was just refreshing to see that.
Saquon, great guy, great running
Great
back.
dude.
You know, what can I say?
Yeah, he's awesome. He's so much fun, dude. Got to keep giving him the rock. I mean, I've said it a million times. I want 20 touches a game at least. And
he's the backbone
if
of
they
your
do
team.
that, it's going to be
Simply
good
put.
things. What's that?
Simply put, he's the backbone of your team.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. He needs to be. And I think that's part of our problem. We're still trying to find our identity, and it's right there in front of us. I mean, we have the O-line, too. Like, it sucks Mulata's down right now, and we did feel that. Granted, the Giants' D-line is pretty good, even though we didn't have to deal with Thibodeau. But, yeah, it was annoying not having Mulata. But that, again, is another reason to pound the run. It's going to make the pass game a lot easier.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Giants just could not get anything going on offense. Daniel Jones had a decent past few weeks, bordering on good, maybe even good, honestly. And then this week, nope.
Yeah. Apparently the guy can't play at home. Like, did you see the touchdown stat thing?
I did not.
So apparently he hasn't thrown a touchdown pass at home in like 500 something days. Like,
wow.
Yeah, like it's gross.
What?
Yeah.
That's
like
crazy.
He literally went over a year without a touchdown pass at home. I mean, I saw another kind of a variation of that stat. Just every quarterback that has more touchdowns at MetLife than him in the last year or whatever. And yeah, I mean, frickin' what was one of the names was crazy on there? Oh, Desmond Ridder. Even he has thrown a touchdown at MetLife. But yeah, Danny Dimes looked like Danny Dimes.
Yeah.
I'm back
Danny
on
Dimes,
saying
we
Trevor
all-
Lawrence is better. No, they're both rough right now. Real rough.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like I said, honestly, Danny Dimes played well the past few weeks, but this week was egregiously bad.
Yeah.
So he's got to do something this next week. That's for sure.
Yeah, they need a bounce back for sure.
Oh, man. All right, let's move on to another game. You and I picked different sides here. Seahawks and Falcons. I was very right, and you were very wrong on this one.
Yeah, which annoyed me big time because if you recall, I was very close to doing Seahawks, and yeah, they, like I was saying, with their record at that point, it was getting to like a must-win game, and they played like it because they, I mean, what was it, 34-14?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no contest. So yeah, had the right thought, but pulled back on it, and yeah, it bit me.
Yeah. I mean, thank you.
Yeah,
I got, needed that.
not really.
Especially.
Some might argue
well-
I needed that.
No. I needed that. I need to
Okay.
keep building my lead. I want to get to double digits soon, baby. We're getting there.
Ugh.
But yeah,
I'm
I mean,
sick.
Seahawks defense dominant. Kirk didn't look good. Couldn't run the ball either. Like, as you said, really no contest.
Yeah,
Seahawks did what they wanted all night long. Moving on to another game, you and I picked on different sides. And, I can't understand why. I don't really, I could see the logic in the Falcons over the Seahawks. But I just...
I know.
I knew I was going to win this. I knew I was going to win this game. 49ers and the Chiefs.
I'm trying to manifest it, I think, is what's happening. I'm just so sick of them, dude. I want them to lose. I want them to lose so bad. And part of me, because I despise them so, I want to call it when they lose. I want to be the guy that was like, it was right here. But, yeah, I got to stop trying it at this point because your lead's just going to get ridiculous.
Keep going. Yeah. This week, too, actually. Please pick against them this week.
Can't do it this week.
Nope. Oh, come on. Raiders
They
are
play
a good
them
team.
tough, usually. They really do.
They do.
But I don't think Jesus is playing quarterback for them, so... The great and powerful Patrick
Certainly
Mahomes
not, unless
will
you think...
prevail.
You know what? Gardner Minshew kind of has a bit of a resemblance.
Yeah. I'm glad he's back. I don't know why they tried
agree.
O'Connell, dude.
I do agree that was a bad decision.
It was.
Bad decision.
And you know what? They're responsible for his broken thumb. That's on them.
No, yeah.
Didn't have to be this way. You could have just been riding bench. But, yeah.
I mean, you're right. You're right. They didn't.
Dude, they
need
just got to
do all
throw it
that.
to Bowers, and they'll beat
Yeah.
the Chiefs. Bowers, 200 yards receiving, 3 touchdowns.
I mean, Max
Something
Crosby's
like that.
probably gonna have to do something as well. Let's be
Yeah,
clear.
that's true. 3
Yeah,
touchdowns isn't enough. Madison breaks one. I don't know. Crosby
Oh,
strip
man.
sack scoop return. Ooh. No, I don't care how it happens as long as it happens. They need to frickin' lose. It's getting old.
Am I talking you into this?
No.
Okay.
They can lose and then we'll both get the game wrong. That's fine.
All right. Fine.
I can settle on not picking it.
But anyways, let's track back to last week. We'll get to next week in a minute.
Yeah. We're eager.
I know. I'm excited about it.
Yeah.
Jets Steelers Sunday night game.
Wow.
I mean,
we were wrong about
holy
Russ.
shit, Russ looked fantastic. Yeah, like there's nothing else to say about that. He looked great.
Yeah. We were dead wrong.
Oh, dead
And
wrong.
so much for them kind of using both. Like I read something before the game that said they were going to incorporate Fields as well, and I thought that would be cool. You know, kind of a tandem quarterback dealio. See it in college, but yeah, not much in the pros, and they didn't do it, and I don't blame them because Russ looked really good.
Mm-hmm. No, Russ. I mean, he was excellent. He was willing to make dangerous throws, and George Pickens
Dangerous
went
Wilson.
up and caught them.
That's right.
Like every time. I mean, some of those catches he made were insane, and he was close to a few more as well. Like he was not far off. From,
Oh yeah,
from a
he's
few
nutty.
more.
He's definitely freaky. I don't like his head. I don't really know how to say it. I guess his brain. But yeah, he's definitely got all the talent.
Yeah.
All the tools to be a wide receiver one, but I don't know. Steelers like problematic wide receiver ones, and I think they got another one.
I mean, they didn't always have problematic wide receiver ones, okay? Like Antonio Brown used to be normal. Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
used to
things
be.
happen. You drop kick a punter or two, and then you can't even recognize yourself in the mirror.
No, the thing that happens is Vontez perfect. That's what
Oh
happens.
right, that's right. That was filthy.
That was filthy. That was disgusting.
And
Is what
from-
that was.
A classic filthy guy too. Like how many dirty plays have we seen him make when he used to play?
Oh yeah.
It's constant.
No, it was tough scenes, but yeah, I mean, Russ played well. He's definitely going to start going forward.
Yeah.
Mike Tomlin made a good call there, and I don't think that's a knock against Justin Fields either. He definitely did his job, played pretty well, but Russ looked really good. So I think you got to keep rolling with
now
it.
it's really interesting now. I don't know why he went to Russ, but he was right for doing so, and now it's interesting because, I mean, if I'm the Steelers, Fields is 4-2, playing clean football, not turning the ball over. I mean, he's so young. Like, he's got all the future in front of him. Like, I would want him to continue to get the reps and continue to get better. But, yeah, with Russ playing this well, it makes you second guess it. And their defense has been so good this year. I mean, maybe they're thinking they're contenders. I don't know. But
Do you think they're contenders?
no.
Neither do I. Yeah.
Their defense is really good, which, I mean, I can entertain somebody saying they're contenders because of that, because obviously defense really matters when playoffs start. But, yeah, I don't think they're there. But they are better than I thought they'd be, and, I mean, they're probably going to have a winning record. Classic Tomlin.
Yeah, classic Tomlin.
Their schedule gets tough.
As a
I know
coach
that.
at this point.
I still think they are taking advantage of the schedule that they were given, which is great, and good teams need to do that, and good teams do that. So they are a good team, but yeah, the schedule's going to get tough. They're going to get a lot of AFC North battles, and yeah, they're going to get L's, but they're playing really well, and because they played so well when they needed to, maybe they'll squeak in the playoffs.
That's a fair point. I mean, very Mike Tomlin-esque, as I was just saying. I think Mike Tomlin at this point is underrated. I think he is one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Yeah, I'm not gonna argue.
Yeah.
The guy wins, and that's what matters. You can look at anything else. Look at the wins compared to losses, and Tomlin's pretty damn good.
You're right. Let's talk about Monday night, though. Ravens-Buccaneers. A game that ended 41-31.
It was
but
not
I'll tell you,
41-31.
it was not a game that played like 41-31. Yeah. The Ravens took their foot off the pedal for at least a quarter, maybe more.
Yeah. And because of that, they screwed my one fantasy team. But that's besides the point. You're right. They won this game. They smoked them. Like, the fact that it got that close, I mean, it wasn't. It was never never close. And the Bucs probably regret fighting so hard because they lost Godwin because of it.
I mean, respectfully, gosh, I can see both sides here. Because, like, if you score a touchdown there, onside kick with, like, 20 seconds, I guess technically there's a chance.
Yeah.
But, geez, time's really winding down there. I mean, is it time to accept the loss?
It's not at that time. I'm shocked they didn't sooner. Like,
that's
before
fair.
all the Rashad White touchdowns and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that is where I expected them to roll over, kind of. Like, yeah, you're still playing starters because there's half a game left or whatever, but you're just kind of going through the motions. But, yeah, once it got that close, then, yeah, technically you have to try. Like you said, even if it's for 20 seconds and you need an onside kick, you have to try. That's just, you respect the game a certain amount that you have to play it that way. Yeah. And I do understand that. But, yeah, it was earlier on that I was surprised they fought so hard to get back in that game.
Yep. I agree. And the other Monday night game, definitely not quite as exciting. The Chargers and the Cardinals. Chargers did not get in the end zone, and that's why they lost the game.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, 5 field goals.
Yep.
Yeah, that's...
You can't...
I'm a guy who supports taking your 3, but, bruh, you can't go 5 for 5 on taking the 3.
Yeah, and I mean, the right move is probably kicking the field goal, but I think really what we're getting at here is you got to finish the drive.
Right.
You can't be putting yourself in the position where you have to take the 3.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's tough. I mean, Chargers were hurt. They were without Quentin Johnston, who's been pretty important for them so far this year. But still, got to be better. Got to get in the end zone. At least one time. Just one time, and you win that game.
Yep.
So
it's all it takes.
Yeah.
All it takes.
But yeah, so that was the NFL last weekend. Let's look forward to this weekend. And before we make our selections, I'll give a quick recap of where we're currently at, my friend.
Oh, yay.
This past week, we had 3 differences. Once again, I came out on top with 2 of those correct, and you at 1. So I added another game to my already hefty lead. We are at 8 games separating you and I at this moment.
Yeah, it's a big number.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of games to play, and it could turn on a dime, as I've said many times. But I feel like I'm understanding these teams a little bit better, and I'm feeling more comfortable with my picks.
Yeah, so, I agree. I feel the same way. That's why comeback season, I don't know. I don't know if I can make it happen. The thing is, like, upsets are going to happen every week. But you gotta, like, it's getting to the point where I have to try and guess the crazy upset or whatever. Like, we're not there yet, but we're gonna get there. And that's when it's gonna get nutty for me. That's where I'm really gonna grab a shovel and start digging.
That's fine. I'll win by 25, bro. Like, let's go. I got no problem with that. But yeah, last week, me 13 out of 15, you 12 out of 15. I mean, that's still 2 really good weeks. I mean, that brings me to 68% correct on the year, behind only now 1 ESPN NFL picker instead of 2. I did catch 1 this past week. You yourself, 12 out of 15, bringing yourself up to 61%, jumping into the 60s from the 50s. Very nice. Well done, sir.
Thank you.
And down from 9 analysts ahead of you to now only 8. So also making some progress.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd rather you pick the team that you genuinely think is going to win and accept your loss against me.
Oh yeah. No,
and
that's
jump ahead of all these experts as well.
Well, and that's exactly right. I care too much about being right to do wild pick after wild pick. And yeah, I kind of do care about the analysts too. Like, it would be really cool to finish ahead of a lot of them, if not most of them. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna try my best. But
I'm going for all, man. I want to beat them all.
Oh yeah,
I'm in a position
rightfully
to do so.
You're on pace. Yeah, just keep her going.
Exactly. But let's make our first pick of the week. What do you say?
Let's
Vikings,
do it.
Rams.
Vikings, Rams.
Foreshadowing from earlier, I think I know what team you chose here.
Yeah, I picked the Vikings.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
They finally got to me.
They finally convinced you they might be a semi-decent team.
Yeah.
Can win some NFL games.
Oh, man. And the Rams are beaten up. Like,
yeah.
It wasn't that hard, honestly, to pick them. I thought it might be, but it wasn't. And going against my number 2 here as well. So
they are. I was curious if that was going to play a part, but
no, Rams are. They're not in the best place right now. They're just really banged up. I mean, I just know from a few weeks ago being without Smitty and AJ Brown, like, you're without your top 2 receivers. It is really tough. And I mean, I think Kupp might come back, but now they're saying he's on the trade block, all kinds of stuff. They're just not in a great spot. Feel like they're finally realizing, hey, we bought our ring, we got our ring, it's time to flush. And I think they're right if that's what they do, because it is time. I thought it was time literally a year after they won. Like, once it was clear they weren't repeating, it was like, hey, I mean, now they lost Donald. That's the start of the downfall.
Yep.
Lost a bunch of guys.
I totally agree.
I
think sell mode is the correct decision.
Right, yeah, time to sell.
Here. Yeah.
They can
100%.
keep Puka and the next regime. They got some good young talent on defense in the recent drafts. Yeah, keep your young talent. Time to flush out these old guys. Get what you can for them.
Yeah. No, 100%. I took the Vikings as well for same reasons. Rams are really banged up, and that played a part. But also the Vikings played a good game last week. Probably a little pissed off they lost. I think that plays into the mindset they come into that game with.
At this point, they've played good every week because they have one loss, and it was in a good, hard-fought game. So, I mean, they're a top team in the league. Ugh, it's so weird to say, but
Better
I'm
than the
thinking like the
Eagles?
more I say it, maybe I'll finally start to believe it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Better than the Eagles.
I mean, yeah, they are. They're playing better.
Oh, I
But
know.
if that
I know.
matchup happened, like I could very well see myself picking the Eagles because it's like I still like they're a good team, but I just can't. Like I don't understand why they're this good. I can't wrap my brain around it.
Team camaraderie. Something Nick Sirianni is destroying in Philadelphia.
That's all we need. Ah, it's easier than I
Just
thought.
saying. Just saying. There's a little proof in the pudding to this point with how the Vikings are playing. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
I mean, let's move
definitely
on.
got a good vibe going.
Next game, easy pick. Ravens Browns. I got Ravens by a mile.
Yeah, I got Ravens. I don't know that it will be by a mile, honestly, but I got Ravens. I think Watson was hurting that team, and
You think that? Well, actually, you know what, Jameis? It kind of slipped my mind for a second. You're right. If they play Jameis, they could be all right.
yeah,
I like Jameis.
I'm glad you brought that up too, because they played the Dorian Thompson or whatever the hell
Yeah.
instead initially after Watson got hurt,
Yeah.
and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. It was like they have freaking Winston, and then
Yep.
they put him in and they go down and score a touchdown. So, I mean, I think Winston will make the team better than it was. Another week with Chubb back definitely helps too. But yeah, I mean, Ravens are a much better team. So yeah, I'm gonna go Ravens. But I think it could be closer than people are thinking.
That's fair after realizing Jameis is there, because I did forget that for a moment. But yeah, he could do something, because Watson was awful, and he's done for the year. They
Yeah.
don't honestly. I bet you the Browns. This might be terrible, but the Browns are probably okay, because they probably felt forced to start that man, given the contract that they gave
Right.
him,
Yeah.
and now they have an out. They have an out. So
Yeah. Hey, it's business.
yeah, exactly. Titans Lions next game, easy one for me. Lions. All
Yeah.
day. All day.
Easy for me too. I mean, Titans are fighting for worst team in the league. So
That's true. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not wrong. You're not
opposite
wrong.
ends of the spectrum here. Lions are fighting for best team, and they're at home. So yeah,
Yep.
Lions.
Just had to
Had to
get that out
sprinkle
there.
it in there.
Yeah.
Hey, that's one I feel real confident about.
Oh man. Moving on, the Cardinals against the Dolphins. Is Tua's return imminent for this game?
I'm hoping so because I picked Dolphins.
I'm hoping not, because I picked the Cardinals.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, I think I mean, I was listening to his interview, and the guy clearly wants to play and doesn't really care about the risk as much as I would if I was in his boat. But yeah, the guy wants to play. I don't think they're going to stop him because, as we discussed in the past weeks, he is crucial to this team.
Oh, yes.
I didn't realize how valuable he was, honestly.
Me either. I did not understand just how important Tua was
Oh,
to
it's
this
like night
offense
and
at
day.
all. He might be the most important piece. I think actually that might be clear with what we've seen. He is
Mhm.
the most important piece.
Yeah, I'd
So-
agree. No sense in having Tyreek Hill if you can't throw it to him. And I mean that's what we've seen. The guy's like they can't get him in the game. Like it's ridiculous. And they try the handoff or whatever and like one or two of those a game and it's just like that's not enough. Like he needs 10 opportunities at least. And he wasn't getting that. He got like 2 targets or something this past week and his only catch of the game came late and it was kind of soft defense by the Colts and yeah, they couldn't get him the ball when it mattered at all. And clearly Tua can do that because Tyreek Hill's arguably the best player in the league when Tua's there. So
Yeah, and it's so interesting because Jonnu Smith had so much success. So I'm kind of
solid
curious.
pickup by the way. I couldn't believe that.
Yeah, you like that? Yeah.
I couldn't believe that. I was like, this bastard. How did he know? Like the only successful Dolphin was going to be
Hey man,
Johnny
I
Smith.
had a feeling. What can I say? And he certainly did something for my fantasy team this past weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I gotta say, good week in fantasy for me. Clean sweep, 4-0. So we
Oh,
like to see that.
hell yeah. I've yet to
Yeah,
sweep. It's been rough over here.
I know. I see it every week.
All right. We're like the same in that league.
I got a game on you.
You got a game, but I got points, I'm pretty sure.
I think.
Which that's all
I
I
do
can
think
control.
you're correct.
That's all I can control.
That's all right. We'll play each
But
other.
yeah,
and we'll
we're
put this
we're
to
built for the
rest.
future. We'll be all right.
Yeah, let's pick the next one. Jets, Pats. I went Jets here. I think
Yeah, I
they're
went
going to be.
Jets.
They got to start winning at some point.
Right, they have to. That's exactly how I felt. And what
Yeah.
better way to start than against a team I've picked against every time and only regretted once.
It's true. But yeah, I mean, Aaron Rodgers got to be better. Jets defense has to be better. Jets defense has to be better. Like they've got a good. You
Russ
know what?
frickin' cooked them, bro. I just can't get over that still. But yeah, the defense
Yeah.
has to be better. And you're right. I think a lot of this is on Rodgers at this point. I mean, his completion percentage and all that is not. Doesn't look like Rodgers of old. And
Not at all.
that their O-line clearly has problems still too. Like they spent a good bit of money to try and shore that up, and yeah, I mean, old man's running for his life a good bit, and that's just not good.
I agree. Up next, we got a divisional matchup in the NFC South. The Falcons and the Buccaneers. I went Buccaneers here. They're just playing
Ooh.
better, in my opinion.
I went Falcons,
I figured you
so
would.
I likey. Falcons.
I'm a very big fan of your choice here.
Oh, I'm an even bigger fan of your choice. You might be without Mike Evans and Godwin,
That's fine.
bro. It's not fine. I think I gained one here, brother.
We'll see.
But yeah, that's really the reason I picked the Falcons, with those injuries to the Bucks receivers. I agree, they're playing better football. They're the better team, and yeah, if it wasn't for those injuries, I definitely would go Bucks.
Fair enough. I mean, we'll see. I think Baker's a very important cog in that team, and I feel like Jalen McMillan, Trey Palmer, Sterling Shepard, I think they're going to step up and do enough alongside
yeah, they have
running backs.
they have depth at the position. It's just, I mean, they're losing 2 stars, so yeah, I just don't like it. But you're right, 3-headed horse at running back now too. They all look like they can play, so I'm sure we'll see a good bit of that. So if Falcons can't stop that, it's going to be problems.
100%. Up next, we got the Packers going up against the Jaguars. Pretty easy one for me. I went Packers here.
Yeah,
Jags
Packers
aren't playing well.
gots to be. They played well last week, but
That's true.
that was the Pats. So
Yeah.
this is the Pack. And
Yeah, I mean,
I
you're right.
agree.
I mean-
Packers just much better team right now, and them being in that NFC North with the Vikings and Lions ahead of them, they got to keep chasing wins. I mean, they want to make this interesting at the end of the year in their divisional matchups. They got to beat up on these teams that they should definitely win against, and I think they will.
Yeah. Does Dougie P go if they lose? Or did he buy himself some leeway with a win last week?
Yeah. I don't think he bought himself jack. I think their mind is already made up, and they're either going to wait till the end of the year, or maybe they said, hey, we're waiting until his next loss, and it was the Pats, so they got lucky. But yeah, I don't know. I think they have their mind made up. I like to think they'll wait till the end of the year, because I think that's the right thing to do. The other thing is, and I appreciate this about the NFL, but there's not really there's not like a tanking issue really in the NFL. But that being said, you can leave a bad employed coach and get yourself some nice picks come April. And, I think that might just be the move at this point. What are you going to do? Like, them firing him at this point, that's not going to spark this team in the playoffs. Like, we're talking they literally almost have to win out. Like, I would just let him roll the rest of the year. And if the dumpster fire continues throughout the rest of the year, then yeah, you part ways and you get yourself some good young talent.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Up next, we got the Colts against the Texans. Their second matchup this year. Texans got the home game. And I went Texans, not because they're home, though. You might have. But because Anthony Richardson is playing like crap.
Oh,
he has
awful.
been horrible.
Awful.
His only good game came against the Texans in the first game of the year.
Right.
But we've now got, he missed 2 games, so we've now got 5 games of him playing garbage, and I'm not sure that I expect that to change.
Yeah, I agree. Not many games they're going to win with him playing the way he's been playing. Just giving the other team the ball, and you just can't do it. And, you've got that dual threat, but the running really hasn't been there either. So he doesn't really have much going for him. And
100%.
Texans are just a much better team, and they're actually vibing and clicking. So yeah, I'm gonna roll with them.
All right. Up next, we got your boyos, the Philadelphia Eagles, going against the Cincinnati Bengals.
This was really tough.
Really?
This was tough. 2 teams that really aren't themselves and have struggled so bad this year.
Please tell me you did it.
And I'm just rolling with the theme that the Eagles are beating teams that are struggling. So I picked them.
Boring.
I think it's not boring. I mean, it might be a boring game because both teams aren't playing great, but yeah. No, I think the Eagles showed that maybe I was a little too hard on them, and they're in the middle. They're beating up on these teams that don't have their shit together. Did it to the Giants, did it to the Browns. Giants definitely more pretty than the Browns game.
I think you're reaching a bit to say they did that to the Browns. They won that game, but let's not.
Well, that's what I just said. Giants was pretty, Browns wasn't. But
yeah,
end of the day, they still won. You got to keep in mind, Browns did get a blocked field goal return for a touchdown. It's a weird thing.
Special teams phase of
If
the game,
that didn't
baby.
happen, which you can't play the if card too much, but if that didn't happen, it was a more comfortable win and less crazy than it appeared. But yeah, they looked like crap against the Browns. And if they look like that against the Bengals, they will lose. But I'm hoping the Giants sparked something. Maybe the team's realizing how important Saquon is, because every time Saquon does well, we win. If we could just pick up on that, that would be great. But yeah, that's why I picked them. I just think Bengals are also struggling, and we're struggling, and got to pick one of them. Might as well roll with the boyos.
Fair enough. I mean, I went Bengals here.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if this is a high-scoring game. Bengals defense has been terrible. You brought up the Eagles defense playing better, but Joe Burrow's also been really good. Even as we discussed a little bit of some of that's coming in garbage time, he's been great, honestly. So I think the Bengals just pull this one out by a little bit. I think both defenses struggle, and the Bengals offense just plays a little bit better than the Eagles do. Maybe because of coaching. Maybe because Saquon doesn't touch the ball enough. We'll see.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the Bengals, they definitely have a crazy good offense, especially on paper. But, yeah, I agree. Hoping their defense is lacking and Eagles take advantage. Like I said, heavy Saquon will get us there, baby.
Yeah. All right, moving on. We got the Saints and the Chargers up next. I went Chargers here. I don't think Derek Carr is going to be back yet. I don't think so. Another Spencer Rattler game.
I also
Chargers not playing well, but I think they'll be better.
Yeah. I also went Chargers. I don't think Carr will be back, and that was a pivotal part of it. But, yeah, I like that the Chargers are at home. Their defense has been playing pretty good. And if it is Rattler, it should really be no problem for them. They could probably win with field goals. But yeah, I just like the Chargers in this matchup for sure.
Love to see it. Moving on, we got the Bears and the Commanders. Interesting game here. Honestly, don't know the latest on Jaden Daniels.
I don't either, which
But
concerns me.
I went Commanders here. Maybe even if Marcus Mariota plays. Because their offense was flowing pretty well even after he came in.
It was. I mean, you look at Daniel's game, they had a lot of the points by the time he went out, but as far as what Daniels did, I mean, he had like a 50-yard run, which was really nice. But as far as passing, like I think he had like 6 passing yards or like just a non-factor in the passing game by the time he was out. And like you said, didn't really stop Washington at all. That being said, I lived Mariota. And I do not like Mariota at all. I don't think he has anything left to offer. I'm banking on Daniels missing. Again, just being a rookie quarterback too, I think they might, be a little cautious before throwing him back in. So that being said, I went with the Bears. Good defense. And yeah, if it's Mariota playing, I really like the Bears in this one.
Fair. I like it. Add
Yeah,
to the
buddy.
different tally. Up next, we got Panthers and Broncos. I went Broncos here. Panthers are just struggling. Andy Dalton lost that redhead magic. It's gone.
He did. But he was in a car accident,
I did see
too.
that.
So he might not even play.
Bryce
But
Young's
even if he
return.
does, the Broncos are starting to groove.
They are.
I mean, Knicks is getting much more comfortable, and their defense is pretty freaking stellar. I didn't know they were a top defense in the league, but, I mean, so far they've definitely played like it. And
That's
going
fair.
up against that weak offense, I mean, I got to roll with it.
No, I agree. Up next, we got your favorite team in the NFL, the Kansas City Chiefs, going up against the Las Vegas Raiders. So, did you keep your streak going against the Chiefs?
No, I can't.
Yeah.
I went Chiefs, but I'd love to be wrong.
I also went Chiefs. I want to be right.
It's fair.
Yeah. I like being right. What can I say?
I do too, but not that much.
I do. See. All right, we got 2 games left. Cowboys 49ers is one of them. Who did you select to win this game?
I went with the Niners. That being said,
Surprising.
they're very banged up. Lost Ayuk. Debo was in a hospital. Jennings was out. Like, they literally don't have a receiver right now. Just the dude who got shot freaking 2 months ago.
Ricky Pearsall.
And, yeah, thank you. But yeah, that's all they're rocking. But the main thing I've learned about this Cowboys team is you can just beat them with the run. And that's something the Niners do have. And I think they've already shown their 2 remaining backs or whatever are pretty competent. So I think just a heavy dose of that. And then, you just do your game plan. Don't put Purdy in situations where he has to make a crazy play, because that's where the picks come, and I think that's what we saw against the Chiefs last week. Just tried to play above himself, and that's a big thing with a lot of quarterbacks in the league, and Dak's one of them too, funny enough, in this matchup. But certain guys, like
understand your limits.
they can't be asked to do too much, or stuff goes south, and Purdy's definitely one of those guys. I think if they just run the ball, there's a good shot they win.
Yeah, I mean, I went Cowboys here. 49ers are just so beat up. And I feel like the Cowboys are due for an offensive breakout game at some point. At some point, I think it's going to happen. I guess I'm maybe predicting this is the one. But yeah, I went
Gross.
Cowboys here.
It's an ugly prediction.
Yeah, I knew you weren't going to like that.
No.
Predictable.
You can pick them to win, but chill. Don't need to gas up their offense out of nowhere.
I mean, CD's great. What do you want me to say?
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Chuckster, we missed a game. Before we get to the Monday Nighter, Bills Seahawks.
Bills Seahawks.
Yeah.
Did we miss a game?
We missed a game, bro.
Wow. Crazy. Too many of these. But,
Too many waters.
yes, too many waters. Bills Seahawks. I went Bills here.
Yeah, I went Bills too. Yeah, I just noticed we didn't talk about it, and I realized we were getting to the end. But yeah, pretty easy pick, I imagine, for you as well. Seahawks played really good last week, and they were away when they did so. Now they have the 12th man. But yeah, Bills, I think they're just really good, and just another week with Amari Cooper in the system, I think is definitely going to help too. And yeah, I like the Bills there.
Yep. I agree. I mean, Bills are playing really well overall. And while the Seahawks played great, they might be without DK Metcalf. That's a big loss.
Right.
And I just question how their defense is going to hold up against the Bills' offense, especially after adding Amari Cooper. Not sure that they've got it in them to win that game. But now, on to the last game of the week.
Yes.
The Giants and the Steelers. This was an easy one for me. Steelers all the way. Giants are playing. Yeah. After last week, I don't know that I could pick them against the Panthers, honestly. So.
Yeah. Put them up against maybe the best defense in the league.
Yep.
See how they do then. And they're on the road to make matters worse. But yeah, I agree. Steelers here. Yeah, I don't know that the Giants are going to break double digits here, points-wise.
It would not surprise me to see them put up 6 points, 2 field goals.
Yeah. The Danny
Score
Dimes
prediction
way.
right there for you, folks. Exact score. Giants 6 points.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Put money on it, folks. Come on.
Exactly. A little bit of ching-ching. But with that, we wrap up yet another episode of Palm City Chucks. Thank you to all of those who listened in. We appreciate you. Comment. Please like and subscribe. And we will be back at you next week with a football episode.
Oh,
we
yes.
want to say coming soon. Basketball season just started.
Yes, it did.
So we're going to start talking about basketball too. And let me tell you, Kris and I love some basketball.
Yeah, I love me some basketball. If you did watch our baseball episode, thank you. But yeah, not my strong suit. Basketball is something I can hold my own in, though, much like the NFL. And yeah, I'm super excited to start talking about that with you guys.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Peace out.
Adios, PCC.